Right, we're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for being here on the broadcast. And we are shifting focus for now. The governing council of the Indian Himalayan Council of Nalanda Buddhist tradition met on Tuesday. This meeting took place in New Delhi. A point of interest was the succession of the Dalai Lama, who is part of the Supreme Council of the organization. The Dalai Lama is the leader of the Golek school of Tibetan Buddhism. He is considered the reincarnation of the Buddha of compassion. The current Dalai Lama is the 14th incarnation. He is 87 years old. The Dalai Lama has traditionally been both the spiritual and political leader of Tibetan Buddhists. He was under constant threat after the Chinese annexation of Tibet in 1951. In 1959, he fled to India via the state of Arunachal Pradesh and set up a government in exile there that year. He then moved to Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh in 1960. Arunachal Pradesh was contested between Tibet and India. It holds a spiritual connection to Tibetan Buddhism as the birthplace of the 6th Dalai Lama. It is possible that the next reincarnation of the Dalai Lama could be born in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, China has long tried to regulate Tibetan Buddhism. Let's look at the case of Panchen Lama. The Panchen Lama is the second most prominent spiritual leader for Tibetan Buddhists. Gedun Choeki Nema was declared the 11th Panchen Lama by the Dalai Lama, but he disappeared in 1995. China then brought out its own Panchen Lama, and Beijing plans to have its own candidate become the next Dalai Lama too. In 2007, China brought out a law. It's called Management Measures for the Reincarnation of Living Buddhas in Tibetan Buddhism. It says only the Chinese government can certify reincarnations and that only they will decide on the next Dalai Lama. Now, the Dalai Lama has said he will live to 113. So perhaps succession planning is not at the top of the agenda. He also told reporters on Monday that India is now his permanent residence. But just in case, what does the Indian Himalayan Council of Nalanda Buddhist tradition plan to do? After all, the Dalai Lama is a part of the council's highest body. To get these answers, our principal diplomatic correspondent Sathan Sibal spoke to members of the council.
We recognize the Gandhan Potang institution, which is the private institution of the Dalai Lama institution. So we recognize the Gandhan Potang institution, and we and not only we, all the followers of Nalanda tradition, we all support the decision will be taken by the Gandhan Potang institution.
Mm-hmm. We always pray the current 14th Dalai Lama to live long. We believe he will live long, and we continuously pray that he must live long than a century. Mm-hmm. But beside that, we also need to prepare for what is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, no human being lives for infinite. Mm-hmm. So we also need to prepare for those things. And from that point of view, we are having discussions and we are having resolutions that the resolutions are very clear that we will never accept any kind of interference from Chinese side. Will it be political? Will it be anything else? We will never accept it.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.